Ghosts in Us contains serious and sometimes disturbing events and is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. And there is the very distinct shape
really
of a
dark
man.
figure that was standing in the doorway.
I'm living an episode of Kindred Spirits right now.
And I just want them to tell me their stories.
So he thinks the life was sacrificed for the spell.
It had the crying boy painting.
Something demonic that was mocking me.
Are you kidding?
It was completely involuntary, but I started crying. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Ghosts in Us podcast. Today, I have the honor, the privilege, the whatever you want to call it, to introduce our guests for today. We have the Hometown Ghost Stories crew on the podcast. We got Jesse, Dave, and Rob. Guys, it is an honor for me to have you on the show. I'm not going to lie.
We're so sorry Dave's here.
Hey, damn it.
Thanks
Rob,
for having us.
You didn't take him out like you said.
Someday. We will someday. What's going on? Thanks for having us.
I'll see you later, guys. Dave's like, oh, great. I get to drink early. All right.
No, I've been listening to you guys for a really long time now. And I enjoy everything you guys do. The podcast is great. This is Taylor, my co-host. Sorry, I didn't introduce you.
Hey, Taylor.
Hey,
Taylor.
We just watched your Hinsdale video, and holy shit, guys, like some of that stuff is insane.
The investigation. I'm
the investigation. Yes.
Yeah. The investigation at Hinsdale was unlike anywhere we had ever been. We've gotten some stuff at other places, but Hinsdale sort of required us to do our own short documentary on it for the most part, investigation video, where we actually showed everything that we got there. That place, if you're a paranormal investigator, you need to go to the Hinsdale house is what I will say.
Yeah, we were there, and I'd say probably the first hour after we set up, or within the first hour that we set up all of our equipment and we're doing our live investigation, which we live streamed. I remember looking at the guys and saying, this is going to be a good night because the amount of stuff that we were getting, which is just so unlike any other location that we've been to. There have been locations, like Rob was saying, that we've been to where we got some really cool stuff, and we went back and reviewed the footage and said, this is great, but this location, within the first hour, I just remember being this is going to be a great night as far as gathering content, and it absolutely was.
Yeah, it was tough to edit it down. I mean, there was scenes where, because we tried to get it down under an hour. I think the final count was 42 minutes or 44 minutes or something like that. But we had to really cut back on some of the full investigation clips just to get it down to time. And I mean, the basement footage was terrifying and also entertaining because you see Dave karate kicking around to make sure that he's not getting
We were just
motion
talking about that.
Literally, we were literally just watching it, and I looked at Taylor. I went, "Oh, did he just karate chop the air?" And I was like, "Is he?"
So he's been singing Kung Fu Fighting, walking around this.
We cut out a good 24 minutes of Dave Kung Fu fighting the ghosts in the basement. It was great. But
if your listeners weren't aware, during a paranormal investigation, it is required by law to bring a black belt with you in order to debunk certain things.
Dude, what have we been doing?
Everything wrong.
You gotta get someone with an MMA background in there, but to be fair, but I'll let you talk.
So for a little context for your listeners who may not have seen our video, so we had a motion detector, and it's directional, right? So you point it in one direction, and it will pick up motion in the direction that it's pointing. And this is good for an investigation like I was doing because it was a super small, confined area, and I was taking up part of the area. So in order to get an accurate idea of what was happening, it couldn't be picking up my motion. We didn't want that. So I continuously was making sure, because the thing kept going off, and I was making sure that it wasn't me that was setting it off. So every time the thing went off,
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a music box. So anytime it detected motion from the direction that it was pointing, it would play a creepy little song, which was terrifying because I was the only person in the house. So anytime this thing went off, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't me setting it off. So I'd kick my foot or flail an arm or something, and it looked an awful lot like I was just doing karate in the
Yeah.
garage. But yeah, that was just me making sure, testing.
No, you're good. You're great, man. Don't
Yeah.
worry. I just thought it was really funny because you're just like, is that me?
It's important that when you're on these long investigations to keep the blood flowing by exercising in the basement.
Yeah, serves multiple purposes. One, check to make sure that I'm not actually setting off the motion sensor. Number two, maybe if there is a demon or something, I could just karate chop it out of my face.
Yeah, that's what exorcists do. Yeah, it's
that's
many
exactly
books.
what Zach Baggins is missing now is the black belt.
Yeah,
He's got all the black clothing, but he needs the black belt.
Yeah, I'm a fourth degree Zach belt.
But as we were talking about before we started recording, I mean, like the way that the investigation was set up for us was ideal, and it was basically showed up, signed the waivers, and then they basically tossed us the keys, and they were like, "Have at it, good luck, see you tomorrow," or whatever. And that's just so perfect because, and nothing against other places, and I understand why you would want to keep someone there for security or just to make sure that the house isn't getting damaged, especially in historical properties or museums or something like that. This was just ideal for us, the way that we wanted to film it, and just to be able to not worry about noise contamination. You think you get something on the recorder, but it's the chaperone opening up a bag of popcorn or something. So it's good to just the way they presented it. The house is so isolated from everything else. You could see like maybe one neighbor like up on a hill, like half a mile away. It was just such a perfect scenario to investigate for the evening and just not have to worry about any kind of noise contamination whatsoever. And we weren't really on a time constraint really at all. So we had plenty of time to just make sure that we thoroughly investigated every part of the house that we wanted to investigate. And that was very cool. Very happy with the way that was set up.
Yeah, no, and the video turned out great, you guys. Like, I'm quite impressed. Like, that was really, really good stuff. Like, especially your intro of how you were kind of like going through, giving the history of the place, and you're like, you kind of would do it like how a Travel Channel like show would take you on like a tourist kind of spot, like, oh hey, like come down here, check this out kind of deal. Like it was good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of the context of the show, right? Like, I mean, for your listeners, we don't do investigations every week. We cover a different haunted town, but in context, like if we go to a place, we want to tell you about that place. When you know the history of a place, the connection to the investigation is a lot better, right? Because you understand what happened there, and not knocking anybody else, but when you see videos and they don't tell you, I've watched videos where they go to a place that I want to know about, and all I see is the investigation. I'm like, okay, well, what is the context? So I think for us, anyways, we like to lay out telling you somewhat about what the Dandy family went through there in the 1970s and some other people. So that's always important for us. And just to piggyback off Jesse's thing real quick, we go to a lot of places where they do make someone has to stay there. Would be insanity at this house because it's so small that just having an extra person there sitting around is going to contaminate almost all your evidence just because of the size of the house. So it's great that they do it that way.
I appreciate that, Robin. We also appreciate you being able to live stream from your walk-in refrigerator. That's really huge.
Yeah, I like it to be nice and chilly. So
it's important, like Rob was saying, it's important to add the historical context for a location like the Hinsdale house, which is very true. I think it might be less important for bigger locations, like if, for instance, like the Amityville house allowed investigations, which they don't. You might not have to add as much historical context if you're investigating a place like that, or the Conjuring house, where you assume most people that are watching your video probably already know the history. But for the Hinsdale house, like I had never heard of it before we went there.
Yeah, there's also scenarios where they've had, just to go back on the chaperone thing, where they've had people in the building, which hasn't been a problem at all. One example was we investigated the S.K. Pierce mansion, and they had a host there, and there was a couple of ladies there, and they were both absolutely awesome. And however, we were in the basement, and this is during the live stream part of it where we were trying to stream it. They didn't realize we were in the basement. They shut off the lights on us, and we absolutely freaked out. It was like, we're all down there like in this creepy basement. All of a sudden, all the lights go out. We're like, whoa! And turned out to be nothing paranormal at all.
But we had a lot of other paranormal activity happening at that moment, so it felt like it added to it. Right. And then when she told us, we're like, shit. Yeah, well, we got to make sure everyone knows that.
We didn't find out for hours. We just thought we caught like the craziest paranormal volley of activity of all time. We're like, this is amazing. And we went upstairs and we were telling the lady, we're like, oh yeah, this, and then the lights went out. And she goes, oh, sorry, that was me. We're like, oh.
that really sucks, dude.
Yeah.
A little bit of a bummer, but it is important to debunk the things that aren't
Absolutely.
paranormal. And yeah, so we got to be honest with the viewers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One question I have for you guys is, I know I've been listening to you for a while now. I've gone back and I've listened to your catalog and everything like that. But like, what got you all into like investigating the paranormal? Like, I know Jesse, you and Rob both had an experience at like a not haunted house, and then like it just never happened again with like a woman. But like, was
Oh,
that
yeah,
the
yeah.
catalyst that got you into it, or is it something else?
No, it's not the catalyst. That was a cool story though. But yeah, completely no reason for that place to be haunted at all. But no, it all started back at Rob's house.
Yeah, my grandparents' house growing up in Bridgewater, Massachusetts, as many of your listeners have probably heard of the Bridgewater Triangle, the town that's named after. Um, we had a lot of experiences. My grandparents bought the house in 1968, and there was just occurrences from that time frame forward. My first experience that I remember was at 8 years old, being downstairs with my mother, my little brother upstairs just starts crying. He's 2, doesn't know what a ghost is. And we run upstairs, middle of the day, by the way, and he's just pointing in the corner, all the color drained from him, going, "The man, mommy, the man." And we
Jeez.
kind of found some history of the house, of the guy who actually built the house went missing in 1949. They never found his body, and we're pretty sure that's who's haunting the property, but we can't confirm. We haven't confirmed that. So, we did our first episode on that house, and one thing I like to tell people is that episode kind of went a little bit viral, and you know how things go on Facebook around town groups, and that went a little bit viral in the Bridgewater one. I got a message from the new owners of the place, and they started telling me all of the haunting experiences they've had since they've bought and moved into the house, and some of it matched up with stuff that I didn't even put in the episode. So we always found
Wow.
that to be pretty cool and validating.
Yeah, and that's where we kind of started doing paranormal investigations. So it started off, like Friday night, we're just bring everybody over to Rob's haunted house and see what we can find. And we got a lot of activity in the attic, a lot of activity on the second floor. And it was just, we were just doing it for fun. We weren't really documenting. We had taken some videos of stuff, and we recently had someone send in some of the videos of it. And one of them was crazy. And I was hoping one day we'd find this footage, but we were doing, give it like the touch torch kind of flashlight trick where you kind of unscrew a flashlight a little bit. And, if you get some timed responses, it could be something paranormal. Again, we know that flashlights, electricity jumps and it could be nothing. But when it's in response to your questions, that's when it's pretty cool. And it's also cool visually. But we were doing that, and that was like one of the things that we did, because we didn't really have a lot of equipment at the time when we were first starting out investigating, as many people don't. But we were doing the flashlight test, and it was giving us responses, and we're all kind of like getting excited about it, like, oh man, this is crazy. And then I don't even remember the question that we asked was, but give him something along the lines of like, is anybody up here with us, or can you tell us who you are? And the flashlight just boom, just exploded, and it's on camera, and we all freak out. And it was crazy, like this thing, and it's spring loaded. It was a little bit loose, but we've never seen that before. The thing, just the battery shot across the room and everything.
Jeez.
Gave us a good scare. Yeah, so that was a very cool one.
Damn.
But it went from that to we started doing a little bit more stuff in and around the Bridgewater Triangle with the Freetown State Forest. We went around and made it a point to hit literally like every spot that's on like the main list of places that are haunted in the Bridgewater Triangle, and got in contact with the guy that was he had shot like the Bridgewater Triangle documentary at the time. Did an interview with him, and then it kind of just piggybacked from there. And we just started going to more haunted places and filming more. And then eventually Rob just hit us up with the idea to do the podcast, laid out the format he wanted to do, which I was immediately pulled in by the format. I was like, that's a great idea, because we could do uninterrupted documentary style breakdown of every haunted case, like 15 to 20 minutes or whatever, or in Rob's case, maybe 8 to 9 minutes, because Rob likes to do short episodes. And and then we'll go live and give the discussion, because one of the things that drives me crazy when I'm listening to podcasts is when you have, I don't know, 10 minutes of them blabbing about their week, and then you get a little bit of the story, and then they get sidetracked and start talking about something else. I'm like, dude, just give me the story. So we're like, all right, let's stick to that. Let's give them the full story, and then we'll make our jokes and talk about our day or whatever. So
yeah, your format's great too.
appreciate that. Yeah. So, and it kind of worked. It seems to that seems to be like when we check out our reviews and stuff like that, that seems to be the thing that people mention a lot, is that like we love the format of the show. I'm like, all right, cool. So we'll stick with that.
So what has been like your favorite in terms of your podcast? What's your favorite place you've covered so far? The three of you
That we just covered, or that we've gone to, or
That-
both?
that you've covered for the show, like you guys did an episode on the Enfield poltergeist. You did countless things with Al Capone.
Yeah, it's a running joke on the show.
It's a running joke. Like,
just keep showing up, right?
just keep showing up, man. Being from the Midwest myself, he just shows up all over the damn place. But like,
Man got around.
I actually want to ask you guys about that in a second after we answer this
yeah.
question. I would say for me, I'll take this first. My favorite episodes to do are smaller towns, right? Like none or places overseas. Like when
That's
Jesse
not what he asked. He asked what your favorite location is.
Okay, well, I think
well,
one
no,
of
the smaller
ones
town
that-
thing works. Like, if it's a generic answer, that's fine too. I'm not here to tell you
But-
what to answer.
I'll give you two examples.
My
really
favorite
liked-
location is towns.
I liked
like
covering. I
Any
liked
places.
covering,
place that ends with a town.
I liked covering Westminster, Maryland. There were some crazy ghost stories there that we had never heard of before. And Jesse covered Paviglia and Italy, which I was unaware
Jesus
of.
Christ,
at the time.
Rob. We covered the whole goddamn place. You can't even pronounce it. Pavalia. Come on.
Pavalia. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't do the episode. It wasn't.
I'm
my turn
probably
to learn
also
the word.
I'm probably also pronouncing it wrong. There's probably a bunch of Italians listening to the show. They're like,
Al Capone is coming for
come
you
on.
right now.
Yeah. Oh, no, Al Capone. See, boom, pissed
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Mob hit coming in.
They all
So
collectively
those-
went,
I swear to God, if
"Oh!"
Al Capone comes to my apartment and I'm driving all the way down, we're gonna have a tussle.
You're just
There
gonna
you
film it. You gotta film it. That's a ghost interaction right there. Boom. And
All right,
visited by Al
dickheads, what do you guys like? What was your favorite episodes we covered?
cities.
Gross.
No. Yeah, I like doing the poltergeist cases. So Enfield was one that I fully enjoyed. Also the San Pedro haunting I found to be very,
Oh,
very
that was a good
interesting.
one.
Anytime you have a story where there's a ton of credible witnesses and you have some of them that go on for months and years and they're continuing to document these cases, those are my favorite because they're the hardest to debunk, is when you have, dozens of witnesses and film crews that come in, police that come in and back up a story. That's when it's hard to really say that everybody's in on it and everybody's faking the story. So I like the ones with a lot of evidence.
Yeah, Taylor, I don't know if you knew, because I mean we didn't really talk about it, but Jesse was actually up for the role of Janet in The Conjuring 2. His impression is impeccable.
It was spot on.
Warner
was spot on.
Brothers was missing out for sure.
It's funny because I'm writing an episode for Tuesday. And it's another British poltergeist
Oh, I
case. And
can't
I'm like,
wait.
here we go.
I can't wait. Well, what's funny is I was actually researching the Battersea poltergeist that was in England. I think it was London. But the woman who experienced it, she was doing an interview, and I'm listening to this interview. I'm like, this sounds exactly like Jesse's British person. To the point where, like, I played a little clip of her speaking on the podcast, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, that's Jesse!" It was like spot on. So his accent is dead on.
That's right. Yeah.
Good job,
a lot of people
man.
think I'm joking. No, I've been working on this for years. So
Doing your
no, I'm not going to
research.
do it. I'm not your show.
I was gonna say,
I'm not
leave
going
us all
to
hanging.
do it. But yeah.
No, I wouldn't ask you to do it. I just wanted to
Thank
bring
you.
that up. I thought it was a fun deep cut.
Absolutely is. But yeah, as Rob said, covering the small town stories are fun because for a lot of listeners, they've never heard these stories before. They'll hear the heavy hitters, the heavy
Right.
hitters you're going to get on pretty much any podcast feed. But, we try to mix it up and maybe cover some angles that weren't covered. Maybe I'll explain how a nuclear reactor works in the Chernobyl
Jesus
episode or
Christ,
something.
please
Oh,
don't.
yeah. And
Maybe I'll go into a 26-minute breakdown of what happens inside of a nuclear core. But, I don't know. I was like, all right, no one's done that before.
You sure
Let's
did.
do a little science. Yeah, absolutely did.
So my favorite location that I covered was like a little of both, right? So we like to cover the small towns, and we like to cover the major hauntings that everyone knows about. So I covered one episode. I covered the ghost of La Llorona, which is a most people know about it, right? It's a pretty mainstream ghost, but a lot of people don't know where the origin is. For instance, like, do you guys know where that ghost originated?
I
Like if you could
personally
trace it
don't
back to a city? Yeah, so I didn't either. And it kept popping up. I'm like, all right, let me trace this ghost back and figure out exactly where it came from. And I found that goes all the way back to Aztec Mexico City. Before Mexico City was Mexico City, it was Tenochtitlan. So like I was able to trace it back to the 16th century and find the origin story for it, which wasn't that hard to do. It's not like I'm like a crazy historian or anything. I just Googled it and found it out. I was like, I didn't know that. That's cool. But there was this history of it is so vast and really just interesting to look into. And it was really, once I finally put the episode together, it's constantly referenced as one of our scariest episodes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I even have a favorite one we've done so far. I mean,
Honestly, I just heard about you guys. He just shared like your channel with me a day ago, I believe. He's like, "Oh, these are
I
the
forgot to
people
say,
we
like, I
have."
told you about it.
Yeah, he told me that we were going to talk to you guys, and then he never he shared it once, and then I forgot all about it cuz life. And then he shared it yesterday, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be like watching and enjoying." So I apologize.
It's okay.
All right,
We're-
Brian, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to take your right hand and
I'm
slowly push Taylor out of frame off of the podcast.
It's all right. It's all right. Thanks to Rob, we are a forgettable bunch, so it does happen
Yes.
from time
Oh,
to time.
jeez.
I do see that you guys did communicate with the ghost of Al Capone's mob. So
Oh,
while we
That
can
was-
never
yeah.
get away from Al Capone, can you guys tell me about that?
So I do tours over at a couple different places here in Wisconsin. I help volunteer at the Sheboygan Falls, the Sheboygan County Asylum. I do guided ghost hunts there. The Haunted Glen Beulah School, which we just uploaded the video today. I do tours there. There's a bunch of places that I help volunteer at. And there was these guests who had come in to do a private guided investigation. So myself and Taylor were part of that. And we brought them in and they were telling us all about like their haunted farm that they have over in Deerbrook, Wisconsin. So they invited us out to come and investigate. And I asked permission to make a video on it just to, have as documentation for them and us. Well, we went and lo and behold, this farm has it was the location of a still led by Al Capone and his group.
and they had like news articles and all this
Yeah.
paperwork to prove that he was involved in this.
I mean, really, the
Can't get
Al
away from it.
Capone part is
He's-
just for clicking, really. We
Right.
didn't really communicate with Al Capone, but there were some interesting responses over the spirit box. It was a fairly inactive night, and there was a lot of high EMF from like fluorescent light bulbs
Oh,
in this
yeah.
barn. So I'm thinking it was mainly due to that kind of exposure that can get you.
What kind of activity were you guys getting with your equipment?
We didn't get anything besides spirit box.
It was like just really weird responses on the spirit box.
Like nothing,
Hmm.
no motion detectors went off.
One did.
Oh, you're right. The music box did go off once, but I didn't catch it on film.
Caught me screaming
That
because
figures,
of a
right? That's-
generator.
A generator kicked on, scared her. But other than that, it was very inactive, and that's why I was thinking the stories that they were telling us were insane to even comprehend, because like people were seeing shadow figures move in this barn and they just straight up shot through the wall with a gun.
Yeah. They also talked about how they saw
That's
a
crazy.
lantern floating around.
Yeah, lantern was falling. That was a direct response we had gotten.
That's
over
when you
spirit.
start shooting.
So we
That's
see a
when
lantern.
you start shooting. Yeah, when a lantern's floating, that's when you fire.
Good idea.
there. Not when you hear voices on the other side of the wall. You gotta debunk that as not.
Meanwhile,
real.
meanwhile, there's just a guy coming up with a
To be
lantern.
fair,
checking
the
it
guy
out.
who-
Everything
That's what we'd
okay?
say
It's
is-
lit up.
We always say this. This is one of our things: is shoot first, apologize to
questions
caretaker later.
But like the thing is like you had to take that story with a grain of salt, because they told us that the person who shot through this wall had schizophrenia.
Okay.
That's good to give them
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah, well, you know.
Usually ends well.
That's the other saying that we have is arm the schizophrenics.
Well, you know what you have to. You know what you have to.
I'm not
take into
I'm not in
consideration?
charge of our merch. I'm sorry.
You have to take into consideration when you go to a location, right? And they're telling you about all the activity that they get, right? Like, oh, we've had people see this, we've had people see that,
Yeah.
we've had all sorts of crazy things happen. You're getting the highlight reel, and this is over a period of time. They're giving you like the craziest thing that's happened. So when you go to a location and you hear the highlight reel of paranormal activity that's gone on in that location, and you expect that, and you sit there for 4 or 5 hours and get nothing, you're disappointed. But that's just how it goes. Like there could
Oh,
be
yeah.
very
yeah, we didn't
long
even-
periods of time with nothing.
We didn't even consider that disappointing that we didn't get anything. I think that
We were there genuinely just to make the people who like invited us there to do this investigation. Like we just wanted to make them feel comfortable.
yeah, because
It's important. It's weirdly enough, it's important to have nights like that because if you,
Yeah.
especially if you're filming, right? So if you
Yeah.
go to a location and every single place you go happens to be the most insane night of paranormal activity, then people are going to start calling you. They'll be like, "Oh, like,
Yeah.
does that really happen? You get possessed every time you walk into a building? You know, like it's,
oh, I
it's
wonder who
just
that's
maybe
about. I wonder who that's
Earl-
about.
Earlier
Maybe
we were
you-
watching some Ghost Adventures, and I said, Zach Baggins, you're not paying your demon enough to follow you around.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. They're definitely
Zach-
talking
Zach
about
Baggins,
Jason Haas
please
from
collab
Ghost
with
Hunters.
us.
I did not mention that name.
Yes.
Didn't happen, yeah. but it's good to have nights like that. I mean, like obviously it's a letdown because you want to experience paranormal activity. Like we had fully planned on filming and dropping the Hinsdale style episode, which is kind of what we've been wanting to do for, to pitch it as a potential show to different networks and stuff. But we wanted to film an episode like that, and our goal was originally to do this at a location called the Winslow House, which is in the town that me and Dave grew up in, which is Marshfield, Massachusetts. And this one, we grew up on this, and this was maybe my first like experience of being interested in the paranormal. That was like the haunted house around town. Everyone had a ghost story about when they visited as a kid during a school tour or something like that. So it had been on my bucket list. I'm like, I would love to actually just do an actual investigation at the Winslow House. And they haven't had many. I think we were maybe the second group that had ever gone and done a paranormal investigation there. It's a historical home. They open it up for functions. They do like weddings and different things like that. But there had not been a lot of groups that have done it. I found like one podcast on it where they allowed them in, and somebody got quote unquote, the story is that he got attacked in the attic by something unseen, pushed against the wall. And I think the house was like, all right, that's probably it for investigations. Like people are slamming themselves against walls, or if he's getting attacked by a ghost, maybe this isn't a good idea. So I'm not trying to discredit his story, but
Right.
that was the story there. So we go there and we got some cool stuff. Like we got on camera, we got Andrew, who does investigations with us, another Wilkins brother, his flashlight that he had mounted to his chest, like it was just dying, and it was really cool because it's full battery and everything. And then and that coincided with some other activity that we got in the spirit box. We got a ton of crazy REM pod activity. And other than that, though, it was just, we didn't really get too much to a point where we thought we could turn that into a 45-minute, ghost hunting video. So we got enough where we'll probably do an episode on it. There's enough history there, but we kind of had to back burner all that footage. And because it just wasn't maybe we were there on the wrong night, and those things happen.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And that's what we made a very clear point about too when we left. It was like, look, just because we didn't experience anything doesn't mean that there's nothing happening, or I'm not saying nothing's happening around here. It's just, it could be an off night. It could be a ton of factors that is coming into this. Like, I'm not here to discredit your story. This is what we had happen, and I don't feel comfortable enough right now to say that I can validate your stories.
exactly, yeah. Same story with the we went up to Austin, Texas to go to investigate the Driscoll Hotel, and it was a beautiful hotel, cool experience. We got not much going on. It was kind of weird the way that we set it up, because we had two different hotel rooms on
the haunted
I
floor.
can't remember, on the haunted floor. I can't remember which floor it was. Maybe
Fifth.
fifth. Anyways, and we had the equipment going. We never really got anything on the spirit box. The only thing that we got was non-stop insane REM pod activity, which is cool because it is activity, but what are we going to do with that footage? It's just a bunch of beeping, and we're a podcast. So it
Yeah.
was like, you know, too nice. We didn't really get too much there, but that was another
Well,
scenario where
The cool thing about the Driscoll, though, although we got nothing, as we were walking around downstairs, security came up to Dave, and Dave, just go ahead and tell the story since you were the one who
Yeah,
was
so
filming it.
I'm standing in the lobby just taking some stock footage video, and the hotel manager comes up and taps me on the shoulder because I'm wearing a hometown ghost stories shirt, and he's like, "You guys like ghost stories?" I was like, "Yeah, how did you know?" And he's like, "Don't tell anyone I showed you this, but check this out." And he shows me he had it on his phone. It was security footage from the night before in the hotel bar. And he's like, "This is around midnight. The place was closed down. No one was in there. And we're getting noise complaints from people saying that there was some sort of disturbance coming from the bar." So we sent security in, and security goes in. He's like, "Check this footage out." And I get a security footage camera, and I'm looking at like this little area out by the bar. There's like there's a little rope poles, you know, where they have like the velvet ropes. And the security guard, he walks by the rope pole, doesn't touch it. He goes by it. And then like when he's 15 steps away, the rope pole just starts swaying back and forth, completely unprovoked. And you see the security guard in the video turn around to look because he heard something happen, but he was already well past it. So we were able to look at this and analyze it and determine like he was way too far away from this thing for it to have been a breeze, or if he had touched it, which he didn't, he walked right by it and didn't touch it. There was no reason that thing could have been moving like that. And to catch it on video was really chilling and really interesting. And
Yeah,
I
that
was
is
like, please send us that. And he did. And that's in our Austin, Texas episode.
That's
It was
awesome.
really cool.
yeah, so it was cool to kind of look at it and debunk it. I mean, he didn't touch the actual rope, but when he went by, he did put his hand. It looked like he may have touched the top of the one of the posts, but it didn't start swinging until about 5 to 6 seconds later, 10 seconds later, whatever. But he was super far away, so I don't think that touch would have done anything. So if he had like rocked it or something like that, then maybe it could have. It still wouldn't have been that delayed. So it was a cool piece of footage, and we're glad we got that. And
Yeah, that's
what
cool.
a fun place Austin, Texas is. It was a great time.
Oh yeah.
No, Rob, you said you had a question for us, or did that get answered?
No. So my question for you guys is, because we are currently scouting for locations to go to next year, we try to like plan this stuff out in advance, as you guys probably know.
Oh yeah,
Booking locations is sometimes a nightmare, to be honest.
in the ass.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the places I've started to kind of gravitate towards for us to go to next year is Broadhead Manor
Oh,
in
yes.
Wisconsin.
Oh
Yes.
And have
Go.
you guys gone there?
Yes, we have. It was our third ever video on our channel.
It's one of my favorite places.
That
and
okay.
experience.
I'm going to warn you right now. They are
Mhm.
set up on the ground floor. The first floor is basically set up for a haunted house all year round. They do it around Halloween. Do not let
Yep.
that detract you. That place.
It was for a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, don't
do
let
not let
that.
I let it detract me.
Okay.
And I ended up
It's-
leaving that place with the biggest smile on my face for the amount of stuff that happened.
It is only in one little corner of the entire building. The rest of
Okay.
it is like just fine. Nothing like animatronic, silly, scary stuff. And the co-owners, like both the owners, they're so nice.
Bill and Ron are amazing. I cannot speak enough about them in the highest regards. They're so nice.
Cool.
That place is scary as hell.
All right. Well, it's one of the places I've been hovering around like for next year. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll take a trip to Wisconsin next year, because doing a haunted school would be very, very cool to do.
Yeah, that place is amazing. I love that place.
Okay.
We're actually trying to
right.
figure out a day we can
Yeah,
go
so we
back,
can go
so.
back.
Cool.
Well, let's make it happen. Maybe you guys can join us.
Oh,
Group
hell
up.
yeah. It'd be fun.
Big investigation. Yeah, could be fun.
Cool.
So
Yep.
I have a question for you guys. When it comes to investigations, I wanted to know like what your favorite piece of equipment or technique is.
I just like sending Dave and Jesse into places that are terrifying that I don't have to go to. Like Jesse into the woods, Dave into
Yep.
the basement. That's
Yeah,
kind of-
my favorite piece of equipment is the human panic button, which is Rob.
Yeah.
We just put him in a room and watch him panic and be like, that's probably the room we want to investigate. It's like getting a baseline reading. You just bring Rob into each room, place him down, and if he cries, then that's where you want to investigate. It's perfect scenario for us. But no, so it's tough to say because you get different activity on each one. I mean, the spirit box is fun, but it's very subjective. You know, people think they hear different things. You get some really creepy communications, and when they're clear, they are clear. So that's always a fun one to use. We started using this this grid sensor. I can't remember the actual
laser
name of the piece of
grid?
equipment. Yeah, the laser grid. That's what we used in the
Yeah.
Hinsdale house. That one gave us some really cool results. So that was fun. And
That's my favorite. It's our
The
newest
laser
piece of
grid
equipment.
is amazing.
Yeah.
We had an experience. So when we were watching that video, we were so captivated because like the whole screen was blue and all that. And back in January,
Yeah.
we decided to do an investigation.
No,
at
this
these-
was
January, wasn't it?
Do you guys have one?
March?
The laser grids?
Yeah, we have it was March.
Oh, nice.
So
Was it March?
it was March.
Anyways, we went to this, like we had 3 different locations all in the same property or whatever, or 3 different buildings. And in one of the buildings was a church. And in the basement, we had the laser grid set up. It was negative 10 degrees outside. And everything was
God.
like freezing up and everything. I got frostbite from that whole investigation. But the laser grid had red, like just forming, and it covered the whole screen. And then a brick moved to like try to
So-
close a door and stuff. It was crazy.
Allegedly, so this location has 3 spots. It's got a school, a convent house, and a church. And the church allegedly houses a demon or a more negative entity. I lean towards the negative. A lot of people I've talked to say it's a demon straight up, and I'm like, sure. But we set up the laser grid in the church, and I'm calling it out, seeing if I can get a response out of it.
Being a
And the
jerk.
whole screen, it is facing just a completely empty room. Maybe the only things that are in it are a few pews left over.
Yeah.
And it is just all red.
Red. That's interesting. It's like the opposite of what happened to us.
The screen was red. The sensor bar on the top was red, just almost completely full. And I was just like, what the is happening?
That's so
that's
weird.
cool. That's scary too, because when we were testing it out, and we've only used it a couple times now, but the only time it could pop up red was when it was a human being in front
When
of
it's
it.
heat.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
Right.
when
Yeah.
it's heat, it like pops up red. So like it was
That's
just-
So,
concerning.
so when you say heat, right? So the way we interpreted it was like room temperature is like the base setting, right? And anything that you see above room temperature, like when we would wave our hand in front of it, it would turn red, and anything below room temperature, which was when we had that anomaly step into the screen, it was
Right.
blue.
When it was a
So
lot
where's
colder
your,
then.
so what I find interesting about your story is it was negative 10 degrees.
yeah,
so-
so something warmer
so-
than that like came right in front.
And filled
That's
up the
interesting.
whole screen.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
That was
It's
wild.
also crazy that it was negative 10 degrees.
Yeah, I was just that's
So
what
when I
was
booked the place,
What are you,
okay,
on a
to be fair, I'm gonna
mountain?
defend myself. I'm gonna defend myself. When I booked the place, it was 40 degrees consistently.
And there wasn't much snow, but then we had a major snowstorm and then it dropped down to 0 and then
Zero,
negative
and then it was
10.
negative like
There's no heat in
Yeah.
any of the buildings. We had one space heater that did not work. And it sucked. But
Yeah, that sounds very cool. That was kind of like our Winslow. We
Oh,
thought we
man,
had it.
I
That
was
was the
just gonna
Winslow house
say that.
investigation. It was colder in the house than when I was outside, but it was not negative 10. So I
Yeah,
feel
no,
glad
and
to
it
go.
felt like it. I mean, it was probably 20. It was pretty cold.
It was.
I mean, that house was old too. That house was 1600s, and it was no insulation.
It was funny though, because on that one we set up like an easy up tent outside and put in the computers to live stream the cameras that we had outside, like a base camp or whatever. Like we had
Mhm.
that whole setup for that one, and we'd go out there to warm up outside. It was just so strange. It was just so cold, and I was like, all right, let's go warm up, walk outside, and stand out in the cold. Like, it's kind of a strange backwards way to do it, but
how
yeah.
none of us got hypothermia that night is insanity.
Well, you
Yeah.
walked in with hypothermia, which is actually
I was
yeah.
already dying
Yeah.
during that investigation.
Since then, he's done every single podcast from his walk-in refrigerator. So
Yes,
that's why he's
Absolutely.
like
I've
that.
become Mr. Freeze from Batman.
which one of you is the meteorologist? Because I mean, he should be on that then.
I think that's
Uh,
Jesse. That's got to be
It's
Jesse.
no, it's Weather Observer.
A weather,
that's right.
sorry, weather observer,
so-
nuclear physicist, Jesse Wilkins
Yeah,
here. You
he's a-
know,
he's a
no
other thing. So,
PhD,
so-
but he's got a.
Not yet. Until we cover an episode where there's somebody has a PhD.
I'll figure it out. Or I'll just excruciatingly explain the process of getting a PhD for people who haven't explored that possibility yet. But for context, for your listeners who haven't listened to that one conversation that we had, I work at a radio station on Sundays, and one of my jobs there is to read the weather. So jokingly, I was like, I'm meteorologist Jesse Wilkins, because I was like, all right, what other qualifications do I do? I'm guy on the on the news reading the weather. So I'm like, I guess I'm a meteorologist now. And the guy from the newsroom comes in and he's like, hey, no, you do not want to do that. I'm like, what? He's like, don't call yourself a meteorologist. I'm like, why? Like, I'm reading the weather. He's like, because the meteorologist community will be very upset with you. I'm like, there's a meteorologist community that gets upset at people.
There's like a whole
all right.
sub Facebook group page.
Yeah.
They all meet up every Wednesday.
They try to track down fraud meteorologists, but he's basically he's like you can only call yourself a weather observer. And then he thought about it. He's like, actually, that's really goofy. You probably should just say your name. I'm like, oh no, I am owning that, and I'm calling myself Weather Observer Jesse from now. And I've been doing it for years, ever since. Every Sunday morning, I'm just like, I am Weather Observer Jesse, here to observe the weather, and then I give my weather report. So
He has a PhD in weather observation.
it's very useful.
Hell
So
yeah.
usually just stand outside and look at the clouds.
Oh yeah, there's weather. There it is.
We're gonna have some weather today. Got some weather today, folks.
There's weather.
There is weather in towns.
Rob's favorite, actually. Yeah.
Rob's favorite town, small towns to be specific.
Small town specifically.
Right.
It's a bonus if it's small towns with weather.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Yeah. Well, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Yeah, whatever. No, I have a
Your listeners are like,
wow.
wow, go ahead, you brought these fucking experts on. They know a lot. Yeah.
No, so Jesse, before you mentioned that you formatted the Hinsdale video to be a pilot. Is that right? You kind of said
Kind of.
for
I
show.
probably spilled the beans that I didn't really want to spill there, but yeah,
Can you go
the
into that?
idea
If you
was
can, that's okay. We won't talk about it then. But
yeah. No, we'll just set up the idea was set up this episode, or if we happen to do an investigation where we get enough content, then we could cut it up and maybe pitch it to some networks. So can't really say what's in the works with that, but that's as far as
I can
so
cut
that,
it.
that
If
was
you
the
want.
idea.
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll see.
It went
I'll
well.
see what I can
That's
do to
what
cut
we'll
it.
All right.
Editor's
Cool.
note.
Editor's note, right?
Yeah.
now.
Get it out.
Get it out of here.
Yep.
He's not actually a pilot. He's just a flight observer.
Well, touche.
Well, to be fair, a director.
You don't have to cut any of this. It's fine. It's all nothing was said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dave finally made a funny joke, so you got to keep
Please
that in
leave.
there.
Yeah, he's like,
Okay.
please leave that. I was
Fine.
finally.
Dave says I'll keep it. All right.
This is
All
a
right, sounds good.
fantastic episode.
I'm shooting the shit, man. That's what I like. So out of all the places you've now investigated, though, oh my god, you are.
Good.
Hey,
she's
what's
finally
going on?
gone.
Well, Rob,
See what
I'm gonna
happens when
push
you don't
Taylor
see
out, so I'm gonna continue.
See what happens when you don't listen to our show?
Yeah, you die. You get
I
possessed.
think the problem, she was laughing so hard at my joke.
That's what it
Oh,
was. Yeah.
He's a
That's
flight
gotta be it.
observer. I'm not a director. I'm a camera observer.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, so let's just move on from that now. Of all the places you guys have investigated, what has by far been your scariest moment or your oh shit, this is happening moment?
I mean, not to beat on the Hinsdale, but to put that one aside, I would say the final few moments of the Hinsdale investigation was probably the craziest. But
Yeah, okay.
we
Can you
got
touch on that quick.
I'm alive.
Okay.
Rob, what was it that scared the ever-loving crap out of you at the end of that video? I did not catch it. Was it did it just
Oh,
like
you mean the very end?
yeah, like the very before you
end?
guys do your
Oh.
group debrief, you have like the part where Rob just goes, oh,
And it's just
Yep.
a bunch
So-
of screaming.
So we did not do a great job explaining what that was, and that was all Jesse's fault. He doesn't know how to operate equipment, basically, and
no, it wasn't. And also,
a camera
you,
observer.
You were the one who
discussed
chose to
this.
leave it in.
So what we do when we do the spirit box is we will actually sync it to a Bluetooth speaker so that we can actually hear what's happening better. So when we disconnect it, sometimes you'll just get the loud static noise coming
Okay.
through the
Okay.
speaker. We always forget. So that's what happened. They're like, all right, we're gonna shut this down. And so Jesse disconnected the speaker, and we just get the which scared the Rob
That's
was
what,
already
that's what I
on
thought it
tilt.
was. and I just wanted
Yeah.
to double check because all of a
Yeah.
sudden at
That's
the very
exact-
end, you just hear Rob go, whoa! And just
I know.
You fell for Rob's trick again of just deciding to blame me because he fucked up. Rob unplugged the speaker because he didn't know what he was doing. And also, this wasn't just a quick
I
little
wasn't in the room.
This was no, well, Rob just blamed me for something that he did again. But he disconnected it, and not only did it go like crazy, it did this for like a full minute before I took it out of his hand and just held the power button down.
I froze.
Yeah,
I was frozen in place.
he was. So
I was
it
already scared.
Yeah.
And then I was frozen in place by that.
Well, when reviewing the footage, we couldn't stop laughing at that, so we decided to leave it in at the end.
Yeah, I can
That's funny.
imagine.
We're leaving it in.
In hindsight, we should have added some sort of something on the screen to say
No way. I love the
a
cliffhanger.
little blip. Well, yeah,
no,
but
that's funny. You guys gotta
everyone
make that
that's-
a short now.
Yeah,
just-
probably.
Put that on
Yeah, but
TikTok.
everyone
Everyone on
has
the
gotten
shorts
confused now.
page. Whatever you got to do.
Actually,
him
the
on
bloopers
blast.
the bloopers that we got out of that investigation was actually pretty hilarious. But anyways, that one aside, scariest moment. I would say it was actually the Emily's Bridge investigation. So this was relatively brief. This was up in Vermont. This was also probably -10 degrees, absolutely freezing up there. And for a brief moment, while we were on that bridge, I thought I saw a human being climbing over the bridge. And my first reaction was, oh, this is like a caretaker or something that's going to kick us out. And then I'm thinking, like, do bridges have caretakers? But it was so quick that my reaction was to say to this guy, like, hey, what's going on? You know, you scared me. And then it wasn't a person. There was nothing there. It was a shadow figure that had disappeared. At the same exact time, Rob saw something as well. And we actually it happened to be while my wife was taking a picture of the three of us. And in the picture, she snapped at the same time. Sorry, spoiler, we didn't get the shadow figure in the picture, but what she got was me and Rob's reaction. You see both of us looking off to the side, like, what the fuck is that? And then you have Dave, who's just posing for the picture.
Just Dave.
Didn't see anything, but so she captured the moment that we saw it, but we didn't capture the actual figure. But this was something, and I try to be relatively skeptic on things until I can't explain it. This was something I absolutely couldn't explain. This is one of two, maybe, like, actual shadow figures that I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
And this one got me to a point where I wasn't, my first reaction was, this is a human being climbing over this it's so
This
ridiculous
bridge.
to think about, but climbing from under the bridge to tell us to get away or whatever. It's too late. You're not supposed to be here.
For our
That would be the
listeners,
most
if you didn't
ridiculous-
know, Jesse's actually the main star of Dora the Explorer. And this is the grumpy old troll.
I've not seen that show. I do know of the show.
We're old, Blaine. I don't know if
Oh,
you know
no.
that.
I have a daughter. I got the reference.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You could have led with that, Dave, before we
Yeah,
had Blaine
I had
have
to
to
come
drive.
over and unmute my mic. But to be fair, like, you see a shadow crawling over the
Oh, dude.
but, like, you're not thinking, like, well, it's coming from under the bridge, so that doesn't make sense. All you do is you see somebody walking up and you're like, oh shit, someone's coming. And then,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
retrospectively, after the fact, you're like, wait a minute, that made no sense. Why would he have been coming out from under the bridge? Blah, blah, blah. But all you know at the time is, like, you see somebody coming up towards you. So
All I can think about the rest of the night is, like, how serious would that guy have taken his job if what he does is all night he clings to the bottom of the bridge and waits for trespassers and then
He
climbs
just
up
takes
over.
CrossFit to a
Get
whole
out of
nother-
here.
He just paints his entire body to blend in with the bridge. He just appears off the side of it, like, what are you guys doing here at 1 a.m.?
he pops out like, no cameras.
Get off
Yeah,
my
like-
bridge.
Like security at Penhurst.
But dude, we just
yes, they're serious group.
the investigation we just did, we have never been more scared of looking at a shadow figure in our lives.
Yeah, we individually saw shadow figures. Like,
Yeah.
you saw one, made me scream so loud, and then while we were taking like a 5-minute break, calming down from his fear and, like, making me scared, I saw one, like, just pop out, stare at us, and then go back. And I'm like, nope, I don't like this. But that was, like, my second experience with a shadow figure.
Yeah, that was your second.
My first one was actually at Broadhead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, that's scary to see a shadow figure, obviously, but it's also best case scenario if you're ghost hunting, right? That's
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what you want,
'Cause
right?
You're like, holy crap, I just saw that. And then you're like, and especially if you're one of the investigators who likes to record things like we are, and you guys, you're just like, shit, did I get this on
Oh.
camera?
He was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
pissed.
I didn't. To be fair, I did not get it.
The
I got the threshold of the door.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So-
Yeah, we also didn't get it on camera. So
Yep.
welcome to
We
the
were
club.
done investigating. We were literally just taking a picture in front of the bridge just for like a stock picture of us in front of Emily's Bridge. And that place, Emily's Bridge, is the one place that we went to. I'm like, this place is bullshit. We're not going to get anything here. This is all an urban legend. We're just here to be here. And one of the most terrifying experiences of our entire investigation lives.
Yeah, probably top 3 for locations we've investigated.
Yeah,
That's
I would
awesome.
say so.
I mean, it's not awesome that you're scared, but like it's awesome that you guys got to
No, it-
experience that as an
And
investor.
It is
part of
awesome
part
that
of
we
the
were
gig.
scared.
We want to
Yeah.
get scared. It's boring when we don't get scared. So
Yep.
hopefully that continues to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Penhurst is up there for, I think one of you guys just briefly mentioned it, but that's up there for
You.
staggering.
No, it was me.
Oh,
I-
staggering.
I thought it
Yeah.
was Jesse.
Like just absolutely stunning locations to visit, like where it's so huge with all the different it's like a college campus basically, like the size
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. It's got such a dark and twisted history, and you can just feel it within the walls of those buildings. Like you walk through it and you just know just evil stuff happened to vulnerable people there. And it was just like what a horrifying story Penhurst is in the
the history is actually too dark. Like you
Yeah.
can't have fun talking about it on an episode
Yeah.
because it's just so horrible, the things that went on there.
Yeah.
But what makes it a valuable place to investigate.
Right.
It does, and it just yeah. Like if you're a paranormal investigator, I don't know if you guys have been there yet, but you guys should at some point visit Penhurst because it's a must visit type place for sure.
Definitely on a
Yeah.
bucket
It's
list.
definitely on our list. We've started accumulating places. We're not in like a financial position where we can go like right now cross country and all these other places, but
Yeah,
I mean, we just started
totally understand that.
this year or last year.
This year.
Like the end of last year or something.
Yeah.
Like exploring other states. Like we just started hitting Illinois.
like, yeah, right now we're like hitting
Oh, nice.
Illinois. Like our next one that we're going to is Freemason Lodge in Illinois. And
Very cool.
Hell yeah.
It's
That was our first real location that we did was a Mason's Lodge
Yeah,
out in the Berkshires in Massachusetts.
yeah. It was the Houghton Mansion. So
That's right.
they had turned part of it into a Freemasons Lodge. That's a mysterious place, and sadly that place I'm pretty sure is closed for good. So we got
Yeah.
in there right before they got shut down for like black mold or something like that.
Oh,
but
dang.
we had gotten in there before then. But yeah, well, Freemasons Lodge. But there's enough. You guys are in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's enough in Wisconsin where you guys
Oh,
can,
yeah.
go around and bounce around to places. That's why when we were starting out, we were just hitting most of Massachusetts, and there's so much in Massachusetts that it's like, all right, we don't really need to branch out yet. But, now we're doing a little bit of traveling, which is nice, but it does get pricey.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes.
for sure. But yeah, I mean, right now we're not in any big rush to like go 3,000 miles cross country to, we're at
Right.
middle of nowhere.
Where-
Whatever I'm trying to say here, I don't know, but like
We're in a
having
flyover
fun.
state.
We're making videos. We're liking the stuff that we're putting out, and right now to me that's all that matters. Is I'm having fun, and
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
we've hit Wisconsin a few times. There's so much out there that you guys are good. Just start off with what you can reach and expand from there.
Yeah.
That's how you build yourself up too and start to get used to going to investigate. Well, you never get used to going to an investigation, but getting used to using your equipment and all of that stuff is very important. So that's
yeah,
anyone that is starting out doing paranormal investigations, you don't need all the stuff that we have. We've accumulated that over the years. It helps, but we've heard this before. The most important, thing to bring to an investigation is yourself.
exactly.
And
Imagine forgetting that.
Yeah.
We got everything. We just forgot.
We've tried to forget Dave a few times. He just
we keep
bites
trying to
the
forget
bumper
himself,
and-
but
Anything else you'd like to ask these fine gentlemen?
You guys are wonderful. That's all I can
Oh,
say.
thank you.
Thanks for having us. This is fun.
No,
Yeah,
thank
this
you
has
for
been fun.
coming on.
Yeah, no
Hell
problem
yeah.
at all.
well, I enjoy your show and it's fun
Well,
to
thank
watch. And I'm gonna keep. I think you guys are relatively. I think I was one of your first subscribers. I think you hit me up right when you created the channel, and I was like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I've been subscribed for a
So
long time.
here's the thing. YouTube for a while there, I don't know if you guys saw any of like the posts about it, but YouTube randomly went and like deleted channels.
Oh,
Oh.
Ours
Oh.
was one of them.
Which is so silly.
No.
So I
How-
rebranded
how
like
big
an
were you
old.
when you got deleted?
What was that?
I said, how big was your page when it got deleted?
Oh, nah, we were about 200 some odd subscribers.
It
right?
was, it was
Oh.
fairly
Point.
small.
That still sucks, though.
it still
Yeah, it sucks
sucks.
because there was so many. Like we had, it was the engagement that we had that we lost, and that's what we hated the most.
Yeah, of course.
But I took an old channel from like when I was in high school, and I rebranded it to ours again, and here we are. So
There you go.
Beautiful.
yeah,
Oh man, that's brutal because
Yeah.
like we're not a huge channel by any means. So just even having to start from scratch after gaining a couple hundred, it's like, oh, great. Like, oh man,
I know.
yeah, what a pain in the ass. Yeah.
I'd probably quit.
I almost
Dude,
my heart sank when it happened.
You at least were lucky enough to have another channel to use.
I know some people like were posting that they were able to get their channel back through YouTube, and it was like some
Mhm.
fluke in their system. But the thing is when I got into contact with the person through Google or YouTube, whoever the hell it was, they were just like, well, we don't know what happened and we can't find it. So I guess I don't know what to
Ugh.
do,
Yeah,
man. I'm just like,
customer
"Are you
service is
serious?"
tough because they're too big of a company, and you're never going to get somebody who cares.
I know.
We love
Yeah.
you too. Please
Yeah,
make sure our
please-
shows
yeah.
on,
Please
on
don't- please don't-
everybody's
Please
TV.
don't, please don't delete our channel. YouTube. We really
Please
think you're doing a
just
great job.
Keep pushing our shows like you have been this week. We're very excited about that.
Yeah, praise to the
we've
YouTube
enjoyed
God
that.
now, I guess.
Thank you so much, YouTube.
The YouTube god is Zach Baggins. So thank you, Zach Baggins.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, now that he's
for-
taking over Max and Discovery and yeah,
Please.
Say what you will, the guy's doing it right.
he's doing it. He's
Please.
doing something right. So, but no, thank you
Yes,
guys.
he does everything right. He's never done anything wrong. We love you, Zach.
We love you, Zach Baggins. Come on our show, please.
No, but I really want to thank you guys for coming on. Please, if people are not following you anywhere for whatever reason, tell them where they can follow you.
Just search Hometown Ghost Stories. Yeah. So we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. If you want to watch shows, I highly recommend. I mean, I don't know when you guys go live or whatever, but oh, you guys don't go live. You just upload. That's the way to do it. My God, we've dug ourselves in this ditch. We can never get out of it. But 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night, we go live with a brand new location. Brand new.
We love it. Don't let Jesse's fake enthusiasm fool you.
No, I can
We go
tell.
live.
I've been a part of a few of your lives now, and I thoroughly enjoy everything you guys do. So
They're very fun. I mean,
They
you
are
get
fun.
to
The
see the
engagement's-
breakdown. You get to
it's
engage
nice to
other
talk with the people in the chat.
Absolutely.
Good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't saying I don't enjoy it. I love it. I love you too, about Zach Baggins. But the no, we have it live every Tuesday. Yeah, just search Hometown Ghost Stories anywhere and you'll find it. But yeah, dude, great show, great
Yeah,
podcast.
thank
You guys
you
are a
so
lot
much
of
for
fun.
having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Glad you guys could
Oh, yeah.
make it. So if you want to subscribe to us, that'd be great too. All you have to do is hit like, comment, and subscribe. Give the Hometown Ghost Stories crew some love. You can check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or here on YouTube. You can follow us on all of our socials at Ghost Nuts. And that's my pitch.
Woo.
Nailed it. Love it.
But Jesse gave me some approval. I'm done.
It was really nice to talk with you guys, though. You're hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Appreciate
it was a pleasure talking to you guys. All right. Good luck. We'll talk
Good
about
luck,
it.
you guys. Have fun
Wisconsin.
with your.
When we get there, we're linking up. We're gonna do it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm thrilled. I am thrilled that you guys have as hard a time ending a show as we do.
Oh yeah,
We don't know how to end the show
all the time.
You guys are fun to talk to, so that's why we're having a hard time. But no, good luck with whatever you guys got going on in your journey and everything like that. And we will see everybody watching this and listening next time.